What's up, everybody? With my shoulder shrug. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I'm gonna wait for everybody to come on before I just start getting into it, okay? Hey, how are you? Hey, everybody, come in, come in, come in. Yes, I missed y'all. Come in. Let's get into it, okay? We're gonna get into it. Y'all, Dear Future Husband is back in the building. I'm so happy to be back. I'm so glad that y'all are here. I am excited for 2023. Okay, if you are excited and you're excited for everything that 2023 has to offer, drop excited in the comment. Okay, I am over the moon for everything that's going to be in store for my business, for my personal life. I've made some decisions on what I am going to do moving forward. And so I'm just hey Mimi, just super crunk about what this year has to offer. Super blessed, for everything. And so, hey girl, super blessed, but not flabbergasted. Okay. Super blessed for everything that I, know that 2023 is going to have in store for me. So, and in store for Dear Future Husband, y'all. Listen, I got some big things coming up for Dear Future Husband that I plan on releasing for the next season. So season 1 is almost over. Can y'all believe that? Do y'all remember when we just started? Like, that's crazy. Season 1 is almost done. And then we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna go to season 2, right? And so I have some big things in store for season 2, some exciting things. Y'all are going to love it. Business owners, if you are wanting to sponsor Dear Future Husband, recordings in season 2, hit my DMs, okay? Hey everybody, hey Kim, hey Keisha, hey Marissa, hey everybody. Okay, so Dear Future Husband, I got your back. Something. I forgot what I forgot what the title is. You know what I'm saying? But it's Dear Future Husband, I got your back. That's the consensus, right? And so that's what we're talking about today with my guest, about what that looks like, right? What it looks like to have somebody's, hey Joseph, hey Carrie, what it looks like to be in a relationship and have your spouses or your significant others back, and what that looks like for them to have yours, right? Because for me, at the old age that I'm at, I need somebody who thank you, Kim. We're a team and I got your back. That's what the title is. Thank you. Listen, y'all, it's been a long 2 weeks. Anyway, what I need at this old age is, or what I value is somebody who I know I can lean on. If things go, if things get a little hairy, it's somebody that I can lean on, right? That's important to me. So we're going to talk with my guest about that. And so I'm going to bring him on. Y'all know to bear with me because y'all know how I do. So just hold on. Strong where I'm weak. Absolutely. And vice versa. That's important to me, y'all. Like if a man can't have my back, then what are we even doing? And vice versa. You should be with a woman that has your back. Because again, what are y'all doing? Hi.
Greetings. How are you? How is everyone?
I'm good. Everybody seems good. Y'all say hi. Let us know how you're doing on this evening. Thank you for tuning in. And again, like I was telling everybody, this is season 1, episode 16, right? So you're my 16th guest. Thank you for being on. Um, and so we are going to just jump right into it, okay? So tell me a little bit. Let's start off with a little bit about yourself. Like, are you dating, married?
So I just got married for the second time in September.
Congratulations! Okay, so you are married, newly married in September. How long did y'all date?
About 2 years.
Nice. And then where did you meet her?
Of all places, Facebook.
Really?
Uh-huh. Oh, ironically, both wives on Facebook, but this one's the better one. I got the better one.
Good for you. But okay, so let me ask you, because a lot of people, yes, congratulations. John says congrats. Um, a lot of people act like, you know how, have you heard people like your homeboys or homegirls say, it's just Facebook? Like they try to blow it off. Like people don't make love connection. Like if they're flirting on Facebook or they're doing the most with a, with people, they're just like blowing it off. Like it's just Facebook. Have you heard that?
I've heard that, especially, when online dating was newer. But the reality that the same people that you can meet in the club or grocery store or church, they're on Facebook as well. So to me, it doesn't matter as much as who you actually meet and decide that you're going to align with.
Right. And I completely agree with you. What I don't like is when people try to blow off their flirtatious behavior as like it's just Facebook. Like nothing can come of that. Right. And there's lots of relationships that start over Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. So don't do that. Like that's not cool. But I like the fact that you met on. So how did that happen? Listen, I'm going to get all in your business because now I'm curious. Like how did that happen? Did you jump in her DMs? Did she jump in your, like who started it?
There's the story, the version that I'm gonna tell my kids, and then the version that really happened.
Okay, I want
the version
that really happened one.
Okay. I'm in a black travel group on Facebook, and so I've just posted my introduction post. Hey, my name is Jeremy. These are the countries I've been to. These are the countries that I want to go to. Those type of things. And so there were plenty of women who were jumping in my DMs, and all she did was simply like the picture. I'm nosy, so as people are liking the picture, I'm going to their profile, whatever. And so when she liked my picture, I went to her profile, but she didn't post a lot. There's some people who have social media, but they don't actually post often. They kind of use it more for other people's stuff. They do. So she was like that. So I'm like, dang, I don't even know how to approach this situation because I typically don't approach with a flirtatious, like a pickup line or anything like that, right? So I wasn't like, hey, baby girl, how you doing? You know what I mean? I'm not used to that. That's not how I'll look at something on your page. It might be a picture of you working on your car, and I'm like, hey, were you changing the carburetor? Or, I'm going to use something that can't get rejected. You know what I mean? Rejected.
Right.
So there was no entry point, and I thought to myself, like, damn, I'm gonna have to use some type of flirtation because there's nothing that I can use of substance on her page. All of her stuff. I don't want to comment on something that a picture from 2018. You know what I mean? That looks stalkerish, right? So I had to go in with flirtation. So I just wrote, "Hey, gorgeous, are you married?" Now here's why I said that. You see that look? That's exactly why I used that. My barber, believe it or not, my barber earlier that week. So I was already fresh, right?
You was fresh to death. I got you. Yeah.
Earlier that week, he was like, yeah, man, when you talk to women, I don't even ask them if they're dating. I ask them if they're married. Because if you say, are you married? Then they automatically think that you see them as wife material. The reality is we're still strangers. But it worked. That's why I tell my wife. She'll laugh about it. We laugh about it to this day. I say, the line worked. You are wearing my last name. It worked. So.
Okay. I like it. So So all the ones that were in your DMs, you didn't even pay them no mind. Why?
Well, a lot of it was proximity, and then a lot of it was substances. Meaning that, I did respond to the people who had jumped in my DM, but as fate would have it, I was already. So she was about 2 hours away in Atlanta, and I was already planning on being there. So when I saw that in the Atlanta area, I already got to be there. So I jumped in. She liked my picture on a Sunday. That Monday I saw it, and I think I woke up, I saw it. I jumped in her DM. That Tuesday we were meeting in person for ice cream. So,
I love it. I love it. So Stephanie says, why her?
Well, and this is a thing that I try to share with people. Men we value teams, and she was willing to work together. In fact, what she told me was like 10 minutes into our dialogue, we're going back and forth on Facebook Messenger. She said, hey, listen, I'm about to join the Navy, so if that's a problem, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me just know if that changes things because I already have my path set. I said, listen, not only is that not a problem, I've already done the military. I can help train you for it. I can tell you what you're exactly getting into. So that was kind of our segue to actually working together. So she came to where I am in Augusta, and Monday through Friday, we would wake up, go running. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was, this is what it's going to be like when you go to boot camp. And so through that course and going to the gun range, because you got to know how to shoot.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was pretty much how when we met, and then we were aligned. We already had a big commonality. So,
which was the military?
The military. And
nice.
And I felt over the course, because we met in April of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually supposed to ship off that May. So me, you know, just being honest, and she knows all this, right? If you tell me we meet in April, you're about to leave in May, and I already know how the military is. If you don't know anything about the military, cheating is on both sides, whether it be the spouse or the service member. It's the unspoken norm.
Yeah.
So if you tell me you leave in May, I thought it's like, hey, look, we're going to have our fun for as long as it lasts, and then we're just going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
But then they postponed her entry until August. Mm-hmm. So it went from having 1 month with her to having 4 months. Okay. And then during the 4 months is when it was like, okay, this is something I could actually take seriously.
I love that. So John says he wants to hear the kid version. Hit us with the kid version real quick.
So the version the kids going to hear, right? Way back when there was this website, this thing called Facebook, because it might not be even if we had kids today, it'd be another 18 years before you hear this story. Right? I'm gonna tell them she was blowing up my phone. I almost had to change my account.
You know what I mean? Stalking me, yo. I
was like, can you screen your people? Kids gonna hear, okay? I've already polished it.
There it is, John. That's the kids version. So Kim says, go for what you want. He wasn't playing no games. And you weren't. Clearly, I mean, so first of all, I didn't even know. I never even thought that people go to the likes and look up people, right? So that, I never even thought about that. And I guess that's a thing. And so you did exactly that. And I'm assuming you saw what you liked. And you saw, like you said, the proximity. She wasn't that far away. So you went for what you knew, right? I like it. I like that approach. Are you married? Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm thinking about your pickup line. Are you married? Like, I'm trying to think about, I feel like, because when you said it, I was like, that's kind of a bold question, right? Number one. And then number two, it does give, at least for me, it makes me feel like you assume I would be married, or you think, like you said, I'm marriage material. Even if not for you, for somebody else, right? So I have to be somebody's wifey, or I'm going to be somebody's wifey pretty soon, right? I like how you work, sir. I can dig that.
Well, hit me with the closing line, right? I'm in business, so I understand different type of closes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so women, pay up. Write this down. You're going to need this. She started, when we were dating, she started referring to me as her fiance way before I proposed. Mm-hmm. And then when I proposed, she started referring to me as her husband way before we tied the knot. So in business, we would call that the trial close. Mm-hmm. It's something like, I'm assuming that you're already going to take this next action. So like if I were selling you, I would say, hey, so where do you want me to ship this? Because once you tell me an address, you've just committed to buying. Correct. Right? So she hit me with the fiance while we were still just dating. Oh yeah, this is my fiance. She hit me with the trial close and it worked.
Yeah, clearly it did, because y'all are married. No, I like that, and you're right, because I'm a lawyer by day, and so generally when I have consultations, I assume that you're going to retain me. I don't ask you if you're going to. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I close with. So let's move forward. This is the next step type deal, right? And that generally works. So no, you're right, and I like that. Although I think there may be pitfalls with that, right?
Yeah, you can't try that approach on everyone.
You cannot. You have to be pretty certain that number A, this is what you want with this person, and B, this person is likely to give you that ending that you're wanting, that close that you're wanting, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I can dig it. John says, yes, we do. I don't know. And I don't know what he's saying yes, we do about. But I'm sure it was something good that you said. And so QLCCINC. That's my mentor. Is that your mentee?
Yeah.
Nice.
Andre.
Nice. Kim says, so start liking, Bree. Oh, I gotta start liking. I guess I do. I guess I do, because I'm not liking anybody's things. I'll just be scrolling like with the face. John says I'm about to drop that line in about 25 inboxes tonight. Kidding. He's not kidding.
It works, bro.
Do it. Original_my say, do men like women to approach them in their DMs? Because I never initiate. That's a good question. How do you feel about that?
So absolutely, yes. Here's the thing. I can understand a woman's concern, because women automatically don't want to be seen as just the next sexual conquest, right? So you don't, it's like that, like, well, if I approach, then he's probably going to think that I'm DTF, and, so I get it. So I would encourage women, yes, we like to be approached, but just approach us with something that's neutral, like the way that I normally would approach a woman, something that's neutral, that can't be assumptive, or, go back, look, women, y'all know how to research, look at one of his pictures or something, look at interest. If he's at a Falcons game, like, oh, you like the Falcons? My dad was a Falcons fan. Something like that. Neutral, right? That way you can initiate the contact, start dialogue, but it's not in a way that where the guy might misconstrue that. Was like, hey, she trying to get,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She wanna roll through. So you're, but then again, you bagged the one that wasn't in your DM though.
True.
The other ones were in your DMs, and you bagged the one that just liked you and then went on.
It wasn't just like, so that's the ending, but the other ones, like I being honest, I was having conversations with the other ones. I'd say, because again, we met like 2 days later. From the time she liked it to the time we met in person was like 2 days later. So even while we were getting to know each other, I don't allow anyone to put me on a layaway plan. So until it's official, my options are open. Right. So I was still talking, but you have, what she had was proximity, like I could actually physically see her, versus some of the other ones were all over. Now I would travel and have been in long distance, relationships, so that didn't. It just it culminated, between I had ready access to her, she was right there, and then when we did link up in person, she actually was like, hey, this is someone that I can actually build a team with. Let me tell you how important teamship is to men. Men will wear a team jersey to watch a football game. Think about that.
Yeah.
Then there's 0% chance that the coach is going to call you up and say, hey, we need you in the game.
Right.
But that men value that we will wear apparel just to watch a game. And so she really came through with the team dynamic.
Listen, and so much so about that team comment that you're saying, so much so that I found, ladies, I found that if you get to know like what things about a man, right? Dig a little deeper. Ask him about his work, right? What he does for work. Try to understand that. Ask him a little bit more about, what his likes and dislikes are. How do you feel about this? What you feel about that? And then going back to what he does work-wise, right? You're the best realtor ever. Like, I have never seen anybody do it like you. Like, nobody sells a house like my baby, right? Like, just those little things, because y'all don't get it enough. Y'all don't get enough compliments. You don't get enough people that support you verbally like that, outwardly, right? That just those little things, it don't take much. Just those little things make y'all feel like, like, damn, like she really, like she really got my back. She really liked me. She really, support me. Would you agree with that? Men, in the comment while he's answering, please let me know if you would agree with what I said.
Absolutely. Because in fact, when two men meet each other, I say, if we're just meeting for the first time, I say within the first 90 seconds, what we do for our professions is going to come up in the conversation. That's just how we are. We're so programmed to what we do, and our ability to provide is a large essence of who we are. So we interest in, what we consider to be a large part of our identity, you've already connected on a different level.
Right. I agree with that. That's good stuff. Let's see if any of the men said anything. No. Okay, so let me go back up. Do men I already read that. Were you looking for a relationship with the intent to get remarried? That's what Michelle asked.
Absolutely not. All right, so here's the other part of that story. I was not, listen, because I remember all the dates. I'm a numbers guy. I remember dates and times and historical facts. But anyway, put it this way. The Tuesday prior, so I met her on a Tuesday. Sunday, she liked me. She liked my post. Monday, I jumped in her inbox. Tuesday, we were together having ice cream. So that Tuesday prior, I had just broke up with a girl. So I was, I wouldn't say I was in rebound mode, but I wasn't looking for anything serious right out of, a relationship. So no, I wasn't. I was not looking for anything serious. And again, so you have this fresh, just got out of this relationship.
Yeah.
Then when we connect, she's telling me that, hey, I'm only going to be here for like the next month. I'm be honest. What would you think in that situation? I'm thinking exactly. If you got about 30, how quickly can we have whatever fun we're going to have, and then go our separate ways.
Yeah, and then go. So how long did it take? Because you said 1 month turned into 4 months before she shipped out. When did you know you were going to marry her? Did you know before she shipped out, or did it take longer?
Oh, no, I didn't know before she shipped out, because even when she shipped out, so going back to the timeline, we meet in April. She was supposed to ship out that next month in May. She didn't ship out till August. I know the military, and I know that cheating's the unspoken. Listen, you get cheated on while you're still living with the person.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, when she joined the military, she's going to see all these guys, you know what I mean? I'm not going to limit her options, but I'm also not going to be 10 toes down for something that's leaving, So I was like, even when she left, she's like, hey, we're together. We're going to, we're going to make this work. That's what she was saying. I was like, we'll see. Let you get in there first. And I told her exactly what I told her. I said, listen, you're going to get the boot camp. You're going to see people that's already married cheating on their spouses, literally. And if she did see people who were either dating or married in boot camp, they met their new battle boo. All right, they found somebody new in boot camp, and they were willing to risk their whole relationship for this. And it really is, it's just trauma bonding. Everybody's going through hell in boot camp, and so you find this person that you connect with while you're in the trenches, and you form this trench relationship. But nonetheless, I wasn't. So there was some apprehension on my part.
Okay.
Even boot camp, she was like, "Hey, we're going to do this. It's going to work," and I'm like, I mean, you say a lot, but I've actually been where you're going, so we'll see. So no, I wouldn't say. But the other interesting part is I ordered her engagement ring 6 months into knowing her. But I didn't actually pop the question for another year. So I designed it, ordered it, physically had it in my possession. By December of 2020, I had it in my possession. I did not ask her to be my wife until September of 21. And then we didn't get December of 2022. So on my end, I'm pretty decisive. Like very less than 1% of the time am I ever like, what to do? I'm decisive. It doesn't mean I'm always right, but I'm going to pick and see where it's going to lead me. So even about 6 months into the relationship, I'm designing the ring. I have it designed, I have it made, I have it shipped to me or whatever. I also know, on the other hand, just because I'm locked in and I think that this can work, I still need to see from you, because she went from boot camp and, we were got through boot camp. She went to the job training facet, which is the next phase, and we were still locked in. So I have the ring in my possession. Her friends knew it because I actually showed her friends. Okay. So her friends knew about it. I was like, hey, keep this on the low, and they did. Listen, they A1. They kept it on the low, but I'm like, hey, I really like your friend. This is proof. I like your friend, but make sure that what I think I see is what's actually materializing.
Okay, so were y'all together in a relationship when she went to boot camp? Or
yes.
Were y'all talking?
Yeah. We're exclusive. We were definitely exclusive.
Okay.
But I was like, I'm exclusive, and it's not difficult for me to be monogamous. So even though we're saying, hey, we're one-on-one, I wasn't talking to any other women by the time but I also knew I was like, we'll see.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah.
That way. She would not have blindsided me if I found out that she was dealing with someone else or wanted to go a different direction. I was actually open to it. I was like, Jeremy, you've done this. Come on, don't let love blind you.
Okay. I like that. So then when she went to boot camp, then she went to job training. Where was that? That was somewhere else?
Yeah, so she went from being in Chicago because the Navy only trains in one place in Chicago. Then she went to Pensacola, Florida for job training. And that, I think, was supposed to be for like another 4 months or something like that. Now, by car, Pensacola is about 7 hours from where I am. And since they're in job training phase, you can't have a car. Like they won't allow you to drive long distance and stuff like that, because your priority is being in that seat Friday going through that, training. So you can't just like weeks off. That's not how that works. So I would drive to her to see it. Or either I would drive it or fly, just kind of depending on what the airline price are. But I would go and see her, like, if not every week, then every other week.
Nice. Okay. Michelle says, I always used to laugh at that when people refer to each other that way. I'm assuming she's talking about the fiance husband thing. But clearly it worked in this case. And then Michelle says, especially when they're always breaking up. Because that's the thing, right? Like, this is my fiance, and then next week is a done deal. Real with Ross says, absolutely, men like when women approach them. See, I think what the problem is that we don't approach often, and so we're not. It's the rejection, right? We're not as used to being rejected, right? Because what I heard from a man is that for y'all, it's a numbers game. It's just you send 30 out, you might get 2 back type of deal, right? And so it's a numbers game for y'all. And so but we you hear some men that say no, they don't want to, they want to hunt, they don't want you to hunt them, right? And then you hear other men saying, nah, it's okay, we like it. And so you just never know what side of the fence.
To that point, there is, like I said, the approach is everything. Because if you approach me too flirtatious and you seem like you're too willing too soon, in my mind, my game's not that tight. You've done this before, and I'm not about to take a woman seriously who's been running the mill with everyone, right? So, I'm confident in who I am, but I'm not stupid, right? So if you just off the bat, like, oh, you look so good, Daddy, I'm like, okay, you might get laid down, but I'm not about to take this seriously, because I'm sure the last 50 dudes you said the same thing to, right? So it has to be in a way that I don't feel like you do this to everyone. I got to feel like you don't do this to everyone, but I don't mind taking the initiative.
Okay, I like it. Carrie says the other ones wanted to go on the trips.
I think, what woman's going to turn down the trip? Let's start there.
You said what?
What woman is going to turn down the trip? So yeah.
Nobody. I would now. Back in the day, I wouldn't, right? But now I'm in a different place in my life to where my peace is everything, and I'm not going to be in Jamaica just because it was a free trip and you and I don't get along, right? And now I'm in paradise miserable. That's not a thing for me. I'm not going to do that. So I won't go on a trip just with whomever offers me a trip. And if I really wanted to go, I'll just go. But that's where I'm at now, right? You'd have caught me about 10, 15 years ago, my answer would have been different. So,
like, okay, we leaving on Thursday.
Like, what? You mean I got my bags? But now I gotta like you. Like, for me, it's a thing. It's a vibe, right? And if I'm not connecting with you, like, we don't have to go on a date. We don't have to. We're not going on a trip. It's just I don't believe in wasting people's times.
Let me ask you. Now, so let me ask you, what does the first date look like to you? Because if you're saying, hey, we need to get to know each other before I'm even willing to go on a free trip, then what are your first date expectations? Because then I'll unpack, how our first dates went.
Okay, so my first dates don't occur unless I like you. So I have to like you on some. Either we have spoken before, right? And I felt something, or we have good conversation. I have to like you in some type of way. It can't be just some rando that was in my DMs, right? And then saying, let's go out tomorrow. No, probably not. I don't like you like that, right? But if we've had some type of connection, some type of conversation, some type of something, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's cool. I like him, and then he asked me on a date, well, then I'll go. So my first date, I'm pretty open. I can do just about anything. I'm open to just about anything. So eating or a park or hiking or playing pool, bowling, like I'm kind of open, I don't, it's because like you said, it's about me trying to get to know you. Hold on, y'all. My child's Alexa is going off. Just hold on. Alexa, stop. No, they didn't hear me. Okay, so I'm not gonna keep yelling at it. So that's how it is for me in dates. Again, I don't entertain a guy unless I like them. And it could be a while before I find somebody that I like that also likes me at the same time. So, for me, it's a little different. But go ahead and tell us about your first date.
So I said, hey, let's link up for ice cream at Brewster's. And that's where we went. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of there, online posts that were like, you got to apply pressure. It's nothing for a baller to drop $300,000 or $300 on a first date. And I'm like, we're still strangers. If you don't trust me enough to even know where you live, I'm not spending money like that. Now, there are some women who say, well, if you got it like that, then you don't mind spending like that. And I'm like, I'm a real estate investor. This is all I do full time. I have it like that, but I'm still not spending because the reality is for me, I can only speak for my situation. I've closed 6-figure deals at Waffle House. Why would I take you to this extravagant first date? And we literally are strangers, right? So our first time that we linked up, it was at Brewster's, but we linked up maybe around 6 o'clock or something like that. We talked to like 2 o'clock in the morning. So you see what I'm saying? So it wasn't how much was spent. We were actually both there to get to know each other. And her friends had to talk her into it because this is at the height of COVID, right? Because COVID became a pandemic in March
like
2020.
March, yeah.
Every month, there's this stranger in your inbox saying, hey, let's link up for ice cream or whatever. And so of course, women, you have to, confer with your friends. And her friend's like, just go, girl, just go. And then that friend ended up being a bridesmaid in the wedding, so.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, no, and I've had this conversation many a times with, because most of my guests on this show are male, right? So I've had plenty of conversations with them about how women want to go to like the fanciest steakhouse and whatnot for the first dinner. For the first date, right? And I was like, yo, you got to choose better women because I don't even eat steak like that. And if I want it, I'll just go get it, right? Like we don't have to do all that. And I like Waffle House. I was telling them I like Chili's. They was like, whatever. I like Chili's.
Yeah.
54th Street Grill, Chili's, like that's what I like. Take me to Denny's and I'm a happy girl. You know what I'm saying? Like so it doesn't take much for me. But my what I want is different. What I'm looking for is different. I'm not looking for you to take me to the priciest steakhouse. I'm looking to see what that conversation is about. I'm looking to see if we connect. I'm looking to see if we vibe, right? I'm looking to see if you get my whack ass jokes and if I get yours. Like that's what I'm looking for, right? And so I just think that it doesn't take a whole lot to see if you guys connect. Me personally, right? So, so I understand what you're saying about you're not going to nowhere pricey if you can't even know where they live. I get it. I get that. But I think that's a grown answer. And I think a lot of us just ain't, from what I'm understanding, a lot of us just ain't there yet,
It's but then it also takes pressure off of women because if we meet for ice cream, there's no reasonable way that I would expect something from you after this. So if it doesn't go well, or if it does go well, it doesn't matter because, if this man take you to a $300 dinner, that side of the menu comes with something extra for dessert, right? But if we like coffee or ice cream or even going walking in the park, there's no expectation, there's no reasonable expectation form. Not to say that an expectation has to materialize, but no one can reasonably expect something out of, hey, all we did was link up for coffee. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, and that's that mentality of if I take you to a $300 dinner then you gotta, like I'm expect you to put out. First of all, like, I don't know. That's a whole nother thing to unpack, right? But all in all, I think that you're right. Like, you have to, on both ends, be real particular about who it is that you're inviting out to eat, or who you're, accepting the invite from, right? Because, like, I don't know why anybody's going to a like Perry's. I don't understand. What are we doing? Yeah. Like, y'all don't even know each other. Like, what, to me, right? Like, y'all don't even know each other. Why y'all can't have the same conversation over a stack of pancakes? Like, I don't get it. But, you and
I on the same length, because that's what I thought. But I know that it's really, a lot of it is really ego stroking. And then what I found is that what people post on social media and then what happens in real life, there's a chasm, a great chasm between the two. Mm-hmm. First, he got to take me on a steak dinner. Last 10 boyfriends didn't take you to Red Lobster. You know what I mean? So
I like Red Lobster.
Like, they'll talk about all these high standards or whatever. Like, someone like, all right, so which guy has taken you to Ruth Chris? Oh, you've never even. Okay.
Never even been.
So,
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then men need to be taking heed. Listen to what they're saying, where they say they want to go, right? Like, why is there any more? I want you to. Our first day is gonna be at the fanciest place in all of Dallas, right? Like, but we just like y'all gotta learn how to decipher. You gotta pick wisely, right? And so that's that's a whole nother thing.
To that point, some men, they are used to leading with their wallet, and so they think that, well, if I lead with my wallet, then I'm type of expectation. And to me, that's silly on you, because as you're in your business, just like I'm in business, we don't start performing services until we've got some type of understanding. Mm-hmm. We have an engagement before we start performing services. So same thing, like, I wouldn't perform at that level. We're still getting to know each other. We don't even know if we're like. There's certain the exclusive menu like that we got to be exclusive before that happens.
All of that, I agree. And so I say, for those men that lead with their wallets, then lead with your wallet, but don't come on here complaining about leading with your wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you do, but I don't want to hear it, right? So original_Maya says, how did she say that she would be your teammate exactly?
She never said it. She just did it. So like, at that point in my career, I was still building out rental portfolios. So I would have to go from one project to the next, making sure, just a quick thing, not a plug, but so we would help you find a property. Like, let's say you said, hey, I got $300,000. I want to turn it into a rental portfolio so I can take that lump of cash and turn it into, monthly income. So our firm will help you find a house, fix it up, and we would manage it. So we made owning real estate as right, as owning stock bonds, right? So from site to site, making sure that, hey, we're on schedule, to make sure that this property starts performing. So we're together. Like, when she came to Augusta, because it's like a 2-hour drive from where she lived, she would just ride with me. Like, in the mornings, we'd wake up, we'd go running, because that's part of training her for the military. But then throughout the day, she would ride with me to the different projects. She would ask me questions about my work. Again, that's important for men. So she would ask about my work, or why did you start, with this particular part of the renovation before that? You know what I mean? Like, she had she cared about my interests. Like, she cared, I was interested in. So it was like, it was mutual. It wasn't like a sit down conversation like, hey, Now, the part that was, she did outright ask, like, hey, before she went to boot camp, hey, are we together? Is this exclusive? Is it? I understanding of that. But everything else was it was just understood as we grew together.
I like that. That's good stuff. And so that ties back into what I said earlier, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta ask, you gotta show interest in their lives.
Exactly.
Hey, I don't know football, but I see you're an avid football fan, right?
Exactly.
What's your team? Okay, then that's our team now. So now when somebody asks me, then we like the Cowboys.
Listen, women, if you go out and get the jersey, not just get him the jersey of his favorite team, come back and his favorite team, look, you might get proposed to that night.
The jersey's a little far, so the jersey is expensive. How about the t-shirt? Can we start off with the t-shirt?
T-shirt. But you show up talking about, this is our team?
This is our team now. So when people ask me, so where I didn't have a team before I met you, now, are we a Cowboys fan? Okay, so we're a Cowboys fan. Okay, so we do, yay, Cowboys. And I'm going to get a t-shirt, and I'm going to wear it, and then I'm going to be like, so the Cowboys play Thursday? You know, like, they like that. Like that. It's like simple, just Google Cowboy schedule, and then, oh, yeah, I see the Cowboys play. Oh, I saw they won the last game. That's pretty cool. You know, like, just little conversation like that. Yeah, it does. Okay, so Chris Oyenuga, the closer, says, I hope I said your last name right, Chris. He says, what's... Did I? Oh, so that's your boy. That's your boy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he says, what's DFH? DFH is Dear Future Husband. That's the name of the show. And I put DFH on the title up there because Instagram is a hater and won't let me type it all out. Right. I only have a certain amount of characters. So that's what DFH is, Chris. Thank you for asking. Original says, are you a Leo?
No, Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. So what is that, January?
November. No. Like November.
I was way off. November, December. Okay, so happy belated birthday. I'm a Leo though, in case I know you didn't ask me original, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. John says she got stationed back in Georgia, or was it the reserves?
No. So her whole, because she's out of the Navy now, but her whole career, she went from boot camp in Chicago to training school in Pensacola, Florida, to being stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, which is another 7 hours drive, just in a different hill. Every week or every other week, I was still there. But by the time she actually got stationed in Norfolk, she could either fly or drive to see me, or I could fly or drive to see her. And so it wasn't just one side. If I get it, hey, job training, you don't even have the option to drive. So I would come to her. But once we got to where she's permanently stationed in Norfolk, then we would go back and forth to see each other.
Like that. And how long did you say you guys have been married?
Just since September 24th of 2022. So not even 3.
Okay. And so she's back in Georgia now? Yeah.
So she's out the Navy. We live together. She's living. We live together. Okay. Well, all right. So from the time that we met, the first time she came to my house, she was just supposed to drive 2 hours to Augusta to go to the gun range. I was going to show her how to use weapons, and then she was supposed to drive back home to Atlanta. The first time she came over, she spent like 2 nights, and then she went back to work, I think, and then she pretty much just like moved in like that next, like she was here so often, you might as well just, she had closet space.
Okay.
So her mom tells the story. She was like, yeah, she went to go and see him and never came home.
So, I mean, y'all were pretty close. I mean, y'all hit it off immediately to where she was just pretty much that first time she came. I mean, because from Sunday to Tuesday, she damn near lived with you from that point. Yeah,
I say, okay, so it took me a couple weeks before she actually came to Augusta to see me, because I was coming to Atlanta to see her.
Okay.
So the first, I'd say after about the first month is when she, it took about a month before she came to Augusta. But once she came, then it's pretty much, we were just together.
I love it. So Original says, when did you know you were in love with her?
For me, I'm not even going to speak for all men on this one. I don't know that feeling came. I'll put it to you this way. My mom said of me, she said, my son dates like a job interview. Like, there's certain things I need to know about you before the feelings even get introduced. And so there's a lot of questioning. It's really a lot, because I don't want to be blindsided, So I don't know when I quote unquote fell in love, because that's not where my mind was. Even when I pick a relationship, it's not based on how I feel. It's based on, will we form a good team if we were exclusive? That's she just gives me butterflies. Them butterflies don't keep a relationship together. So
right.
So I'm more assessing those type of things, and I think that as we began to unpack some things and getting to know who she is as an actual person. And the big thing is your moral compass, because that's what's going on, decisions that you make, or how you justify the actions that you take in a relationship. Those are the things that kind of make me feel more emotionally drawn to her. It wasn't the whole in love feeling that.
Okay. So you never felt butterflies? Not even in the 6 months when you were ordering the engagement ring?
No, it wasn't butterflies. It was trepidation at that point, because you got to think, marriage number 2 and marriage number 1 did not well. It like, just a short and sweet version of that. And here's the crazy thing, again, about anyone who's been in the military, they can say like, yeah, they know at least 10 people who went the path. But so for men, we don't really entertain marriage until we know that we're in a stable position. Because once I marry you, now I am, responsible for
yeah,
provide and protect. That's what most men, we can agree on that. Provide and protect. I tell women, I say, listen, monogamy is still, jury's still out on monogamy, but provide and protect. Most men agree that's our job, right? So we don't putting ourselves in that position until we're in that, until we're, we feel like we can provide and protect. So in the military, when a guy joins the military, from the time you raise your right hand, you are in a position to provide and protect, right? Because they're going to make sure you have housing, they'll make sure you have food, they're going to make sure, so a lot of guys get married quick. This is leading to a point, and I was one of them, right? So my first wife, we met, it was kind of that world from hello, my name is to I do was like 6 months. Again, I'm decisive, right? When I think I see something I like, I will take action quickly, but that doesn't mean that it's going to end well. I just know that, hey, I'm willing to commit to this path and see where it goes. Does not mean I know the outcome, right? So that ended disastrously for me because my first wife was a single mom, and I didn't know until things fell apart. She only married me to be taken care of. So, from hello, my name is to I do was 6 months, where she's Mrs. Johnson, and then 3 months from there, I'm in Afghanistan. So I married her right before I deployed to Afghanistan. I'm in Afghanistan finding out like, hey, this whole marriage, she just married me to be taken care of. We're having, because the cat's out the bag, right? I found out cat bag. So I was like, so even because we had a small ceremony, but we had an actual ceremony. It wasn't a courthouse wedding. So I said, even at our wedding day, you didn't love me? She said, no, I did what I had to do.
Oh.
Now, yeah. She said, look, you were in a position to take care of me. I love the way you treated me and my son. It was survival of the fittest in so many words, right? Oh. So now, fast forward to this situation. I'm ordering this engagement ring, and I still have all of these memories of like, hey, remember the last time 6 months in, you thought you knew what you had. Come to find out, now my wife now doesn't have any kids, and I don't have any kids. But so that was helpful. But I still had those memories of like, hey, the last time you pulled the trigger this quickly, you remember how that. So that's why I ordered the ring just as quickly as I did the first marriage. But it took me another year before I even asked the question because I had to make sure, like, hey, yeah. So
that this is what it was.
Like, yeah.
So by this time, have y'all already met each other's families? Like,
yeah, I met her mom, and yeah, we met families. Now here's the thing about me. I can't speak for all men. A woman meeting my mom isn't necessarily like, hey, you're going down the path. Like if we're riding, I have to go and see my mom. You probably just gonna end up meeting her, like because but it wasn't like a for her she was nervous. Now when I meet a woman's parents, I'm not nervous because I understand that parents want someone for their children who's going to put their children's best interest for and I know I am. So I was telling her, and she'll laugh about this today. When she was telling me about meeting her mom, I was like, your mom's gonna love me because I already know towards you are pure, and able to pick up on that. So I'm never nervous about meeting anyone's parents.
Me either. Listen, bring me home, okay? They gonna give you props. I tell people the same thing. Like, listen, I'm not. This isn't a bag. They gonna love me. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? But people like they look at me weird when I say that. I'm like, no, let's go. Let's meet moms. Okay. So Kim says, shoot your shot. What will you lose? You're right, Kim. You are absolutely right. Stephanie says, getting flued out. Carrie says, you different. You can go on your own trips. That's true. So going back to the trip thing, right?
Yeah.
That's I can just go on my own. So I don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then they want to put you on any old airline. You know what I'm saying? I can't do Spirit and Frontier. I can't do it. So TL Brown says, very true. Facts. Never where you at. It's always who you with. Unfortunately, I don't know what that's referring to. I'm just Milan says, hello everyone. Hey Jeremy. Original says facts. It's not the location, but the conversation that stimulates me. Right. Original is putting down some really good stuff. Right. It's the conversation. Again, I'm big on energy. I'm picking up your energy. I'm picking up if you get me. I'm picking up if you're interested in me. Like, are you listening to what I'm saying? Are we making eye contact? Are you being super sweet? Are you, like I'm picking up on all those verbal and nonverbal cues. I'm looking at all that. Your body language, all of that, right? Do you make me feel comfortable around you? Original says Leos and Sagittarians are very similar in their decisiveness. Yay, me too, Issa. That's why I can relate to you. Yes, Original. So we're Leos here. I see you, girl. So very, and I know you're decisive because you've said it several times, and so am I. If I like you, because I don't like often, right? Like I don't like everybody. Let me change that. I don't like everybody. So have you heard the saying, I like who likes me? Have you heard that?
I've heard it. I don't necessarily know what it means, if that makes sense.
It means the thing. Like if you like them, then they'd be like, oh, okay, I guess I like you too. And people think like that's cute. And I'm like, no, I don't like who likes me. Right? We have to simultaneously like each other and then at the same time. It has like the stars, the moon, and everything has to align, right? And
because that's accepting from what's available, and I don't do that. I know what I want, and if what's available I want, I'm a hard pass on everything.
Right, and that's how I am. And then when I like you, I'm locked in. Like that's it. Like I like you. So I want to spend time. I want to talk on the phone. I want to, go on a date, all that good stuff. So yes, Original, I feel you. Imperial says stable position is key, my brother, for sure. For sure. I'm sure that's what that meant. Yeah, so no, I love y'all's love story. And so now y'all are together. She's not wherever she was. Y'all are in the same household now. Y'all are living your lives. You're newly married. How's that going? How's that newly married life?
It's well. I like it because we're both in a similar position now. So like she's never known me to have a day job or whatever. When we first met, she had a day job, and I was like, hey, great. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's anyone's time if you have the skill set and the desire to own a business, but and that's important because once she got out the military, I was like, hey, what do you want to do with your time? And I would always tell her that, like, hey, if finances weren't an issue, what would you actually want to do with your time? Like, a lot of people, they can't even think like that because they're not in that position.
Right.
I like that because I knew that once we got married, she would be in that position where, hey, you don't have to work. So what do you want to do with your time? And so fast forward, now she's taking an interest in real estate, and I don't push that on anyone. I'm like, hey, if you want to know, I'm your guy, how it all works. But so now she's taking an interest in real estate, and I'm helping to guide her in the commercial aspect of real estate. So now we have that commonality, and we pretty much wake up and set our schedules. Nice. You know what I mean? We don't.
I like that.
Hey, I won't be able to get off until 6. Yeah. I know what you got to do today. I got to do today. So we have a lot of time that we can just spend together.
I like that because QT is everything for me. That's one of my love languages is QT. So I like the fact that y'all are able now to just live your lives without any of that pressure of like a 9 to 5. Not saying there's anything wrong with a 9 to 5, but you know what I'm saying? What comes with that, right? And you're able to have a flexible schedule and able to spend time with each other. And it sounds like even now with the fact that she's out of the Navy, it was the Navy, right? Out of the Navy and everything, y'all still have each other's backs. And
absolutely.
That is dope. That is absolutely dope. Andrew says, hey, Andrew. And Original says, yes. So that is absolutely awesome, Jeremy. I am so glad that you came on here to share your story. So let me do this. Is there anything that you have to shout out that you want to tell the people about what you do, how they can contact you if they need to work with you?
Sure. So, the way that my investment firm is set up now, we only invest in government development projects, meaning that like if your local city, I can get to weeks on this, but the short and sweet is every local government has to build things to either be affordable housing, whether it be commercial space, Amazon wants to come into the city, so that's all we deal with now. It used to be you had $300,000, you wanted to turn it into a rental portfolio, we would take that money and turn it into a rental portfolio. Now you got $300,000, you need your money to work for you, we'll put it into a government development project, and then you'll get a return on it. So it's not even about property. Typically don't own the end product. The government owns the end product, buy the end product, but we get in. We work with the government, so they throw money into the pot, we throw money into the pot. then we pay our investors out. So that's what we do now. It's totally different. So if you want to contact me on that, you can jump into my DMs. If you want general advice on real estate investing in whole, you can schedule a consultation by just jumping in my DMs. But outside of that, I would just tell people, listen, you have to understand yourself. Just back to healthy relationships. This is the biggest thing. I want everyone listening to take, in fact, put this as the title if you can. I told my wife, my now wife, I am not committed to you. I am committed to a healthy relationship. I am not committed to what we have together as a healthy relationship. And the reason that that's important is because when you commit to a person today, no one's going to be the same person that they are today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You have the space and the grace to grow, right? So I understand that. And a lot of times people say, oh, well, this person changed. We're all changing. We're all every day changing because that's part of growth. So I'm not committed to you as a person, of this version of you today, because I understand that may change. But I'm committed to a healthy relationship. So if you start changing in ways that's unhealthy, I'm out. And once you people talk about being the prize, or you're the prize of the relationship. The prize is a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Not one of the individual relationship. That's ego talking when you want to be the prize in a relationship. No, the prize is a healthy relationship. And so I would encourage everyone, if you're looking to date, get married, these type of things, be able to identify what is a healthy relationship to you, agree on that with your spouse, and say, hey, listen, this healthy relationship is what we're both committed to a healthy relationship. And if at any point we start moving in ways where it's unhealthy, that's fair game to part ways.
No, and I like that because that peace, that healthy, that healthy union is everything. And if it's not peaceful and it's not healthy, then you're right. Like, it's not for me. Like, I'm past the whole craziness and the foolishness, right? And people acting up and the disrespect and flipping over furniture, like that's behind me now. So I'm with you. Like, it has to be peaceful. You have to bring me some type of, for me, I have to feel like I am being protected, not only physically, but my heart. You're protecting my heart. That's big for me, right? And that, like you said, that we're working on a healthy union, and that you bring me peace and that I bring you peace. Like that, that's it.
Exactly.
Now you doing all this extra, I got to go. So I feel you on that, and I appreciate you for touching on that. That's really deep and it's really good. Stephanie is laughing because she knows all my secrets. Original says, ooh, I love that actually, even though at the onset I didn't like that initial statement. And right, you threw us off with the statement at first, but when you explained it, makes absolute sense. I am committed to the healthiness of this union, period. And you're right. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to grow. You should not want to be with the same person that you were with 10 years ago. You should be with somebody who has evolved and grew in a good way, not, evolved down, but evolved up, right? So, Stephanie says, I agree. Marissa says, not the furniture. Y'all don't tell my secrets on this here show. So, y'all, y'all make sure that y'all follow him. He should be somewhere on the bottom or the top. I don't know where it's at. But make sure you're somewhere around there. Make sure you follow him. Make sure y'all are following me. Make sure y'all are tuning into Breality TV 1 on YouTube, at Breality TV 1. Make sure you subscribe. Jeremy, you have been an absolute pleasure. You have dropped gems upon gems, and I appreciate you, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for being on this here show, and making, this episode what it was. So y'all make sure y'all support him if you're wanting to invest in governmental things. you jump in his DMs, or if you need real estate questions, go ahead and jump in his DMs to schedule a consultation, okay? Thank you again, Jeremy, and everybody else. I will see you guys next week. Bye.